The rain that had begun the night before hadn't stopped. It fell soft and steady over Sector 3, turning rooftops slick and alleys into rivers of reflection. The sound followed Rakudo and the others like a quiet drumbeat, one that felt like it had been echoing since the night they'd spoken Reiji's name again. Inside Taka's small house, the silence between them was thick enough to choke on. The truth about Reiji, or what little of it they knew, had stirred something raw. Gura sat by the window, tapping his fingers against the frame, eyes distant. Tanso paced behind him. "So what now?" Tanso finally muttered. "We just sit here, pretending everything's fine? Pretending the Empire didn't?" "Drop it," Gura interrupted, his voice sharp but quiet. Tanso turned. "Drop it? You were the one who said Reiji's disappearance wasn't random. You were the one who, yeah, and maybe I'm tired of hearing it thrown around like a story we can fix," Gura snapped. He stood, knocking over the chair. "We don't even know if he's alive." Tanso's jaw clenched. "That's the difference between you and Nail. He doesn't quit just because he's scared of answers." The words hit like a slap. Gura shoved him back, and in an instant, both were squared off. Years of friendship straining under grief and anger. Before either could swing, a voice cut through the tension. "Enough." Rakudo stood in the doorway, drenched from the rain, eyes dark but steady. "You think fighting each other's gonna bring Reiji back?" Tanso exhaled sharply and turned away. Gura didn't answer. He just grabbed his coat and stormed outside into the downpour. Rakudo watched him go, then glanced at Tanso. "He just needs time," he muttered, wiping rain from his hair. "We all do." The room went quiet again until a familiar voice echoed from the open door. "Well, if it isn't the old crew." Everyone turned. A figure leaned against the doorframe, hood half pulled, a faint grin on his face. "Sogi?" Rakudo blinked in disbelief. "You're still breathing?" "Barely," Sogi chuckled, stepping inside and lowering his hood. The scar that traced along his jaw caught the light. "Rain's good cover these days." Tanso frowned. "Since when do you show up uninvited?" "Since word got around that Nailhead's alive and kicking," Sogi said, grinning. "Didn't think I'd miss that reunion, did you?" Rakudo shook his head but smiled, faintly, almost nostalgic. "It's been a long time." "Yeah," Sogi said, eyes softening. "Back before we all pick sides." The two stood for a moment, just looking at each other, the kind of quiet that carried years of unspoken memories. Kyra stepped closer, studying Sogi carefully. "You two knew each other?" Rakuto nodded. "We ran together before I joined Taka's crew. Sogi used to be the quickest rooftop runner in the sector." Sogi smirked. "Used to be?" "Still waiting for proof otherwise," Rakudo shot back. Tanso grinned for the first time that night, tension breaking for a moment, but it didn't last long. Sogi's expression shifted, the humor fading. "Thing is, I didn't just come here to catch up." Rakudo's eyes narrowed. "Then why are you here?" Sogi looked at each of them, finally settling on Rakudo. "I'm joining the Empire." The words hung like thunder in the room. Tanso stepped forward. "You can't be serious." "I am," Sogi replied. "They're offering positions, real ones. The world's changing and I'm not getting buried under it. You all can keep running from ghosts, but I'm done with the rooftops." Rakuto's voice dropped low. "You really think they'll treat you like one of them?" Sogi met his gaze, unwavering. "I don't care how they treat me, I just care about surviving long enough to matter." For a moment, the two old friends stood inches apart, one driven by defiance, the other by disbelief. Outside, the rain picked up again, hammering the windows like fists. Finally, Sogi turned for the door. I'll see you soon, Nailhead. Maybe on the same side, maybe not. He stepped out into the storm, vanishing into the blur of lights and rain. Rakuto stood there, silent, until Kyra spoke softly from behind him. He was your friend. He still is, Rakuto murmured, staring at the door. That's the problem.